Segunda-feira é dia de Tales of Arise.
Be on your guard.
Vamos só configurar a live aqui, vamos retomar nosso gameplay. Hoje talvez a gente consiga fazer a tentativa do primeiro boss. Talvez seja o último boss, a gente não sabe, né? Então a gente tem que dar uma farmadinha ainda, porque tem uma dungeon. E o boss fica no final da última dungeon. Então só vamos configurar aqui e vamos ir pra dentro, porque vai ser chapa quente. Fizemos uns ups que a gente podia fazer, compramos bastante gel para os nossos heróis. Aí vamos ver se a gente consegue avançar aí no game hoje. Acho que está tudo configurado aqui. E vamos para o gameplay. Bora. Tales of Arise. Vamos ver como é que a gente está de gels e componentes, né? Itens. Nós temos 10 de laranja, 15 de pêssego, que recupera 1200 PV. Temos poção de vida quantas? 15 poções de vida, estamos topados. 4 de limão. Ó, temos bastante poções, tá? Vamos dormir então, vamos fazer uma refeição para eles poderem ir com buff agora pro combate. Então, vamos dar um descansar aqui, vamos mandar cozinhar. Aumento de ataque pequeno, ou podemos ter um aumento de defesa elemental, maior chance de minérios raros, média defesa elemental, interessante, marca santa, aumento do ataque elemental. Isso aqui é interessante. Podemos fazer um aumento de ataque elemental médio com esse ingrediente aqui. Vamos cozinhar. Ó, com a Renewal a gente reduz o efeito, mas aumenta a duração. Então isso é interessante, que a gente dura mais esse buff de combate, né? A Renewal vai fazer um prato aqui pra turma. Ela cozinhando, isso serve como uma poção de buff. Oh, o Hugo ficou faceiro.
Never thought I'd see you fighting Hoodle over food of all things. Normally you share everything you have with him.
Yeah, but this is a fancy parfait. Every girl dreams of having one of these.
Is it really that big of a deal?
Please don't bring me into this.
It's always nice to eat something that fulfilling. I can't believe I actually get to have it all for myself. Every little bite makes me so happy.
But isn't that parfait gonna cost you quite a lot more than your regular ice cream choice?
That's all the more reason for me to enjoy it. Everyone knows it takes lots and lots of sweets to stay full of energy.
Everybody, a cream monster has devoured Rinwell.
At times such as these, it would be best to just let her do as she wishes. Yeah, definitely.
Dole's right. If someone's trying to enjoy their favorite food, just leave them to it and don't bother them. Yep, can't argue with that.
I don't get women.
So good!
Aí, a Reno cozinhou para a equipe. Isso vai dar um buff de aumento de dano elemental. Então, bora. Todo mundo descansado, todo mundo preparado. Vamos para a dungeon. Se a gente chegar bem no final da dungeon, aí a gente vai para... Podemos tentar fazer uma tentativa de boss final. Vamos confirmar se é aqui mesmo. É aqui mesmo. A área de entrada proibida. Ó. É aqui que a gente tem que entrar. O problema é que o caminho vai estar cheio de Zogos, eu acho. Vai. Então eu vou tentar desviar o máximo possível deles. Porque o foco não é a gente farmar eles. O foco é a gente chegar no final e poder entrar na dungeon do boss. Porque eu já eliminei eles, né? Então a ideia não é a gente farmar. A ideia é a gente chegar na câmara do boss, topado, com vários buffs e debuffs de poção. Caso necessário, a gente tem que farmar. Aí a gente farma. Mas eu tenho a impressão que não vai ser preciso. Aí, chegamos na câmara. Porra! Para aí que eu acho que eu entrei pelo caminho errado, cara. Caraca, velho. Eu entrei no caminho errado, maluco. Porra, fudeu. Não era aqui, cara. Vamos voltar. Vamos voltar que a gente se perdeu aqui, cara. O caminho do boss não era esse. Caralho. Pera aí, vamos pegar o caminho do boss. Vamos lá pra entrada da zona proibida. Então evitar combate com o Zugo pra gente não gastar poção. Porque a gente já farmou esses Zugos todos, né? E a ideia agora é a gente avançar até a câmara do boss. Olha aí, vamos ver se a gente não... Caraca, velho, que dungeon desgraçada. Pegamos o lado errado. Pera aí. É pro outro lado. Ih, aqui tem uns guardiões que vai ser difícil passar, hein. Aqui nós vamos ter que combater. Vamos lá. Alguma farmadinha a gente vai ter que dar.
Where are you going? Armor won't save you! Radiant Pierce! This one's all mine! Burn it out! Take this! Lightning orb! Raging Cascade! Pierce evil! In here! Blazer! Baby Blazer! Lightning call! Here goes! Burning Strike! Hear my call! Holy Land! Shot! Radiant Light! Wave inside me! To be let free! Regenerate! Let us rock to the fray! Burn it hell! Shattering the pieces! Radiant Light! Force of regeneration! Carve through armor! Regenerate! Allow me to help you! Order! Lightning condemned! This one's mine! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy command! Lunar corruption! Swallow blade! Do it!
Aí.
My exploits are bare.
Deixa eu ver o caminho agora. Ok, agora falta pouco. Aqui, a segunda entrada à direita. Tá, agora aqui, isso aqui deve dar na câmara do boss final, né? Vamos ver. Ou pelo menos um dos bosses finais. Não sei se vai cair na dama de vermelho. Vamos salvar primeiro, inclusive. Se der algum problema, a gente pode dar o nosso jeito, né? Vamos vir aqui, ó, sistema, salvar. Vamos repor esse save aqui. E vamos ver se a gente chega nos créditos hoje de Tales of Arise.
Soon, you might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens.
Vamos lá. O único caminho é pra frente. Bora.
I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that.
Vamos lá. Boss final. Eu acho que é agora. Mulher de vermelho. Bom, pelo menos agora não tem volta. A partir de agora é só vai.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
Vamos dar uma explorada aqui. Foi nesse laboratório que o Alphen foi desenvolvido, ou teve algum envolvimento com a história do Alphen. Uma mesa de operação. Muitos indivíduos nunca retornaram de operações. Pode ter certeza. Mesas de operações.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renin citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renins are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
Bah, o Alpha é o soberano.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? That means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They...
Boa noite, Vinícius! Bem-vindo, querido! Estamos entrando talvez na última dungeon de Tales of Arise. Vários mistérios aqui estão surgindo no planeta Rena. Esse laboratório foi o laboratório que fez a reengenharia genética do Alphen para se transformar no soberano de Rena. Vamos adentrar mais na Zona Proibida para ver se a gente descobre mais alguma informação. Mas o game já deu aquele recado, a partir desse ponto não tem volta. Então é quase certo que daqui a gente vai só pro boss final. Vamos só pegar os baúzinhos aqui, catar alguns loots. E provavelmente daqui a gente tem que ir pro fight final. Caramba, já tenho. Não tenho mais espaço para poção de vida.
Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Renan never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
A Naori
His
botou a
injuries are worse
máscara
than
no
I
alvo.
thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes. And this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. It made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memory.
Boa noite, Standard! Bem-vindo, querido. Obrigado por prestigiar.
And sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Caraca, tem 3 portas aqui. Vamos explorar isso aqui. Aqui não tem nada. Aqui tem um baúzinho. Ok, vambora. Acho que agora é o boss final. Game difícil, o Metroidvania que é um coelhinho, né? Massa, Standard. Tá no radar já. É um coelhinho, né? É um cartunzinho, assim, um Metroidvania de um bichinho, né? Eu acho que eu vi, assim.
This is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
Massa, Stan. Bom saber, cara. Bom saber. Vou botar ele na frente da fila.
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori? What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory?
Boa noite, Old Hunter.
It's different
Bem-vindo.
this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to
Blasfemos eu não
unleash,
achei mídia física ainda, Old Hunter. Queria pegar em mídia física, eu não sei se tem edição mídia física.
Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the Maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but
Alas, it was not to be.
Ó, o World Hunter tem, mano, mas tá uns R$450. Caraca, que mídia física cara, bagrão. Falta pegar esse, falta pegar o Shovel Knight também. E um monte de Metroidvaniazinha legal, colecionável, mídia física.
The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well.
Ah, Shione é uma descendente dela.
Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done. Wait, you can't just...
A Shione é descendente dela.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danon voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
Boa noite, Gabriel. Bem-vindo,
querido. Too early to
querido.
let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Grinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Xion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Xion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No, the truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Bonito. A última donzela. Ganhamos o emblema da Shione. Agora acho que é o último up. Um dos últimos ups, hein? Deixa eu ver aqui. Recuperação de BA, derrubar. E menos tempo para lançar áreas em combos. Conjura uma chuva de raios de luz. Ok. Arte curativa avançada que restaura 4 vezes PV de todos os aliados. Beleza. Vamos ver o Alphen. Vamos fechar esse aqui. $1063. Aumenta a barra de impulso a cada 10 acertos. $1019. Precisa de mais pontos de habilidade. 1460. Dano mais crítico. Kizara. Mais ataque elemental quando cercado. Ok. E ó, ganhamos uma espada. A espada dada ao soberano escolhido. Extraindo todo o poder latente para realizar a cerimônia de canalização do espírito. E uma armadura. Ó, Wold, não tens nenhuma mídia digital, mano. Cara, só aquilo que a PCN dá ali de vez em quando de presente ou... Eu vou botando ali na biblioteca, né? Mas eu nem uso, sim, cara. Porque não curto esse negócio de mídia digital, sabe? Só o que é dado de graça mesmo. Ó, ganhamos uns trajes aqui. Porque é como se fosse um demo, né, cara? É uma demonstração, né? Vamos dizer assim, tu pode usar o game e tal. mas não é teu o game, né? Tu não consegue emprestar, não consegue vender, não consegue fazer nada com aquele troço. Então eu não curto muito, sabe? Esse negócio de mídia digital, cara. Não é muito a minha praia, sabe? Eu sou do... Game tem que estar na mão, cara. O game tem que estar na mão, né? Mas isso é uma visão velha, né? Visão de velho, né, cara? É porque hoje em dia, né? Até porque o dia que eu for pra mídia digital, aí eu não vou jogar mais em console. Aí eu vou pro PC, vou pro torrent. Aí. Agora vamos ver como é que a gente vai... A gente precisa achar a alma renana. Tem 2 portas aqui. Área confidencial da zona proibida. E... aqui tem outra parada aqui. Eles tinham que criar um meio de troca e venda das mídias digitais. Ah, aí que tá. Se eles fizessem isso, né? Mas eles não fazem isso, cara, porque não é do interesse deles, né? Ah, aqui é pra voltar. Aqui é pra voltar, né? Ou avançar. Deixa eu tentar testar primeiro aquele lado, aquele corredor do lado de lá. No momento que tu compra uma mídia digital, tá? Tu gasta ali, sei lá, vamos dizer aí, R$150. Cara, tu nunca mais vai ver esses R$150 na tua vida. Ó, Gabriel, velho nada, pô, tô com 27, não pego digital nem a pau. Se der uma pane inimaginável nos servidores da Sony e for digital, eu não tenho, na verdade, nada. Agora, disco eu jogo offline a qualquer hora. Bem nessas, Gabriel, bem nessas. A gente depender de servidor para poder acessar o game, cara, é muito arriscado. Ah, não, aqui é o caminho que a gente veio. Tá, então é pelo outro lado mesmo. E outra que é o seguinte, cara, eu tenho mídia de PlayStation 2 aqui na coleção, que quando saiu, cara, custava R$60. Hoje em dia custa R$1.000, R$1.200. Né? Imagina se fosse mídia digital. Quanto é que ia custar? Não ia custar nada. A gente tem que ter uma noção que os games também são investimentos. É um troço que a gente está botando dinheiro da gente. Qualquer coisa que tu bote teu dinheiro é um tipo de investimento, querendo ou não. Vai comprar um carro, é um investimento. É um investimento furado, mas é um investimento, né? Vai comprar um apartamento, é um investimento melhor. Vai comprar uns games, mídia digital é dinheiro fora. Mídia física não, mídia física é um acervo que tu tem, é um patrimônio que tu tem. Ó, vamos avançar aqui, que agora aqui o bicho vai dar uma esquentada na chapa, eu acho, cara. Pra gente poder pegar a alma de rena, a gente vai ter que enfrentar a dama de vermelho.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Rena's Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
Ah, tomara que eu esteja bem upado.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Profundezas da Zona Proibida, vamos lá. Aqui dá pra zerar as vidas. Quando tem esse negocinho de recuperação de vida, é porque vai vir chapa quente. Tá, vamos lá.
Volron! He really was still alive.
Cara, o Voron tá vivo
And
ainda.
there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself. Reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Ah, a Dama de Vermelho vai ser a nova Dama.
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alvin, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
Old Hunter, tem um total aproximado de quantos games na coleção? Cara, tem que fazer um inventário novo. Mas é na faixa de uns 1000, cara. E aí, Peter, bem-vindo, obrigado por prestigiar, amigão. Caraca!
It's no use, Alvin. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Ready to go!
Vamos lá, vamos encarar a Mulher de Vermelho agora. Depois ainda talvez tenha um Voron. Eu estou com 420, mas tudo digital. Fui burro. Não, não quer dizer. É que se tu... Tipo assim... Não, tu não quer dizer que tu tenha sido burro. Tu tá moderno, né? Mas é que tu nunca mais vai recuperar esse teu investimento, cara. Isso é verdade. Ô Dirceu, boa noite, tudo bom? Obrigado por prestigiar, amigão. Mas não quer dizer que tu tenha feito um mau negócio. É que realmente a parte de investimento, assim, financeiramente falando, aí tu não vai ver mais essa grana mesmo, né? Mas isso é porque é da regra do jogo. A física, ela é um patrimônio que tu vai levantando, né? Caraca, essa Mulher de Vermelho vai ser tenso, magrão. Do Halim morreu.
Glacial spear. Here's the evil. Not in your dreams. Raging cascade. Freeze lancer.
No further.
Ah, bamba. Vai ser tenso.
going to pull myself. I'm raging all the power of my soul to accomplish this. Sorry.
Ignite! Forgive me. This is my fault. Swallow blade! Swallow blade!
Eat dirt. This one's mine.
Swallow blade! Dance on the wind!
I'll bring you back from death to death.
No! It can't end here!
Putz, poção de vida no Alphen.
I've still got some fight left in.
Deixa eu dar uma poção de limão pro Alphen.
Healing circle.
Resonate with the earth! Onward! Swallow blade! Take this! No further! Swallow blade! Burn in hell! Swallow blade! Everlasting! Swallow blade! Leave my charge to me! Swallow blade! Far enough! Swallow blade! Swallow blade! Try harder! Being interrupted. I owe you one. Order won't save you.
Caraca, eles vão dar o especial triplo.
Where are you going? Not on my watch.
Try harder. Demon Lash. Not today. Swallow blade. In a bind. Slash. Slash. Green blood. Bloody. I'm sorry. Swallow blade. Slash. Nothing gets by me. Far enough. Pistol. Burn. Swallow this. Slash. Mirage. Swallow blade. Shattering the floor. Now you see what I can do.
Deixa eu botar uma gominha aqui de pêssego no Alphen. Ah, ela dá uns poderes especiais, cara.
I couldn't make it in time.
Putz, grila.
In a bind.
Deixa eu dar uma poção de limão pro Alphen. O especial delas aqui é tenso.
Imbue this vanquished soul with life. Resuscitation. Mirage. This one's all mine. Ignite. Take this. You're mine. I can carve through walls. Mirage catapult. A new leaf on life. Swallow blade. I'll face you. Swallow blade. Shine. Radiant blade. No further.
I'm going to illuminate all the power of my
Mirage. Here I come. Dance on the wind. Swallow blade.
healing circle.
Mirage. No dawn shall break. Swallow blade. This one's all mine. Ignite. Try harder.
Nothing gets by me.
Shine. Swallow blade. Regeneration. Regenerate. Now you see what I can do. Let us take to the fray. Swallow blade. Shine. Radiant light.
Where are you
Force of
going?
regeneration. Regenerate. Swallow blade. I owe you one. Prepare to be swallow blade. Blade might be blackened blade. Swallow blade. Slash. Try harder. Execution. Render you apart. Swallow blade. Swallow blade. You picked the wrong fight. Swallow blade! Slash! Resonate with the earth! Swallow blade! Stalagmite! On your swallow! I can handle it! Slash! Swallow blade! Deny!
Illuminator!
Swallow blade!
Come forth! Holy glimmer! Let me holy land!
Porra, que dureza.
Annihilation! Sleep
Swallow blade! No further!
I'll
Slash!
be saving this one!
You're on! Take this! I'll blind you!
Healing circle! Snake! Just what I said!
You're done!
I'll be saving this one!
Strike! Negative gate!
Shining
Try harder!
supernova!
Slash!
Warrior here! Let me help!
No escape! Ignite!
Grenade! All disasters may rise! Do it! Purity!
Agora. Valeu, obrigado, Old Hunter. Grande presença. Obrigado por prestigiar, querido.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Foi muito fácil.
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Presentão do Old Hunter aqui. Valeu, Old Hunter. Agora que eu vi, cara. Brigadão aí. Grande presença.
Damn it! He's awake! I should have thought as much. So you know this place? Naturally. It was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Voron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renin and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renin and Dana are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
You can't stay here!
We need to go! Outfit!
Ih, se ele pegar a donzela já era.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am...
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissance. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Caraca, tem muito jogo ainda.
I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
Ah, pensei que a gente ia fazer a batalha final hoje. Mas pelo jeito tem muito game ainda. Ainda vai ter um capítulo inteiro em Rena, no planeta Rena agora. Onde é que é a saída? foi só o capítulo de Lenegis, que é a capital dos renanos. Vamos recarregar a vida. Tá, deixa eu ver aqui o mapa. Passagem de manutenção. Área de pesquisa aqui para trás. Ainda vai ter muito combate ainda.
All yours, Kisara. Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and pummeling to me.
Glacial Spear. Here's the evil. Meteor Sword. Get into the wind. In here.
Here I come.
Burn it hell.
You're mine.
Struck. Here's the purity. I never miss.
The enemy will come too.
We'll soon see about that. Raging Cascade. In here.
Take this. I'm not done.
Illuminate the magic is there.
Here I come.
Holy land. Now for
You're
some
finished.
effect. Do it. Astral energy.
Say no more.
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
Take this.
Glacial Spear. Here's evil.
Ignite.
Freeze order. Now.
All yours, Kisara.
Essa finalização da Kisara é massa pra caramba.
I can feel my power growing.
Tem uns cristais aqui que eu não peguei ainda. Já vamos farmar esse fogo aqui. Já que vai ter muito game pela frente ainda, é bom estar bem farmado, né?
Stand back. I'll trip it up. Time to let it rip.
That'll bring you down.
It's over.
More with that
Swallow blade. You're mine.
Begin.
You're on. You're mine. Here I come. No time. Ignite. In a bind.
Will this help?
Slash.
Confiscated.
You're mine.
Healing
You're finished.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Dance in the wind.
You're mine. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis. Here.
You're mine.
Here's a healing.
Not today.
Here.
Slash.
Annihilation.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Glacial Spear. Here's evil.
You're mine.
I'll smash you.
Heal.
Denied!
Allow me to mine. It's over. Take
Now.
this. Oh. Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade. Scream baby blood. No escape.
Gale Blade.
You're mine. No escape.
Healing circle.
Here I
Hear my call! This one's mine! Can't do it! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Aê.
These bad guys really don't mess around.
Vamos farmar esses caboclinhos aqui.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Tá, vamos lá, vamos voltar pra nave. E descer pro planeta Rena agora.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing. So she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Dohalim.
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldermen and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences...
Boa noite, Rodrigo. Bem-vindo, querido. Obrigado por prestigiar.
Stand as one. I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among them. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Aí o Dohalim assumiu a posição de
Your
liderança.
speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright, or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like... oh, I don't know. Musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept turn against death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Vai ter um novo capítulo agora em Rena. E o Doralin ganhou um novo emblema, o líder renano. Com quantos pontos de habilidade? E aí, Pyro, beleza? Bem-vindo, amigão! Massa, Pyro! É um belíssimo JRPG, né? Doce demais e com uma metáfora e uma mensagem poderosa, cara, poderosa. Arremetida terrestre, ars terrestre avançada que expele rochas de uma fissura da terra. Mais dano contra inimigos derrubados, esquiva perfeita mais fácil. Vamos ver isso aqui. Dá upada no Doralin, a Renal também. Não, a Renal não tem ponto de habilidade ainda suficiente. O LoL já tinha gasto. O Alpha tem que upar mais. E a Shione também tem que upar mais.
Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of...
Ok, agora vamos ter que viajar até Rena. Deixa eu ver onde é que fica a nossa nave. Aqui, ó, zona residencial 16. Vamos ver se tem um ponto de viagem rápida aqui. Na verdade, não tem viagem rápida nesse.
You're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
Tá, só vamos achar o caminho aqui, a passagem de manutenção aqui, ó, esse corredorzinho aqui. Vamos lá. Pegando a nave, nós indo para Rena, a gente começa uma terceira etapa. Teve a etapa de Dena, a etapa de Lenegus e aí nós vamos ter a etapa de Rena também. É por aqui. Essa é Lenegus, a capital flutuante dos renanos, a estação espacial dos caras que coletava toda a energia astral roubada dos denanos. Aí, vamos até a zona residencial 16. É aí, só ir reto, depois à direita. Eu já fiz todas as secundárias desse mapa. Aqui a gente chega na área de chegada e partida, que é onde está a nossa nave. E aí vamos pra Rena, vamos ver se vai ter uma animaçãozinha legal. Espaçonave Faunet.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to
Valeu, Diogo! Obrigado pelo likezão, amigão! Brigadão!
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
Caramba, o que as mulheres de vermelho fizeram com eles, cara?
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
Ah, o planeta Rena é só uma casca.
flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Ah!
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed.
Ô Gabriel, bem massivo de história esses Tales, né? Cara, realmente, esse aqui tá se puxando aí no roteiro, agora no final. Os outros até que não são tanto, cara, mas esse realmente tá se puxando, viu?
That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
O que é interessante é que isso tudo são metáforas. Tem que fazer autoanálise para entender que eles estão falando da nossa realidade aqui.
Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
E geralmente nessas metáforas tem críticas.
Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all.
Massa, Gabriel, Crysis Core eu quero jogar também, não comecei ainda.
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others.
Ô Gabriel, cara, a história do FF7 eu conheço toda, mas Crysis Core eu conhecia muito superficial. E a história é fantástica. Mostra o lado bom e a corrupção da Sephiroth. Muito bom. Eu quero jogar esse também, tá nas minhas metas, porque, pô... aquela vibe de Final Fantasy VII é perfeita. Ele quer que a gente elimine o grande espírito de Rena.
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Caramba, cara, que reviravolta deu essa história. Encontre os outros. Este terminal parece controlar as condições do Hevrecht 35. Deve ter mais dessas criaturas hibernando na nave.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
Ok, nós vamos ter que encontrar essas outras criaturas e conversar com eles. Só que estourou meu tempo de gameplay, 11 horas. Eu vou salvar e a gente continua na próxima sessão de gameplay. Porque realmente agora o roteiro do game deu uma reviravolta. E caraca, tem que dar até uma parada para absorver todos esses fatos novos. Porque o que eram dois planetas, um escravizado e outro escravizador, na verdade multiplicou para ser uma nova civilização escravizada por um grande espírito, uma deidade maligna que estava usando eles para extrair a energia astral de Dana. Então tá, boa noite Gabriel, boa noite a todos que assistiram e que estão assistindo no Repeteco. Segunda que vem a gente continua. Um abraço para todo mundo que esteve no chat, Gabriel Murari, Pyro, Rodrigo, Dirceu BC, Peter Donato, Old Hunter, obrigado pelo presente, Old Hunter. Standard Serigrafia, Vinícius Garrote, abração, bom restinho de segunda, até a live de amanhã, que a gente vai ter amanhã, Jedi Survivor, abração, até a próxima.